Hello and welcome to the Valley. Today I am your host, Janet Michael. We are on the Zooms today with Ashley Moslak. I'm not sure how many people will remember because it has been quite a few years since she has been on the show. I actually looked it up, Ashley, and it was knee deep in the pandemic. It was October of 2020 the last time that you were on the show. So I am very glad that you are back.
Thank you for having us. I really appreciate it.
So we're going to talk today about a couple of things. You are the chairperson for the Northern Shenandoah Valley Community Veterans Engagement Board, which we're going to call CVEB from here on out, that does a lot of work in our community, supporting veterans and hosting events, things along those lines. You've got a community barbecue that we're going to talk about in the second segment, but you also have two women sitting with you that are integral into the work that your organization does. Tell me who you've got with you.
As you said, I'm Ashley Moslak. I'm the chairman.
My name is Nicole Hess. I'm the co-chair for CVEB and the director for military benefits at Shenandoah University.
And I'm Patricia Young. I'm the executive director for the Hive, which is the Hazel, Pruett, Armory hub for innovators, veterans, and entrepreneurs, and also the advisor for CVEB. I'm excited to be here today. Thank you.
I have to say, Patricia, that building, the Hive building, is beautiful. It is an outstanding building. I'm so glad that Shenandoah made a priority to not only make that building look so great, but to offer the services and do the things that it does inside of that building. So kudos to you guys.
Thank you so much. I think a lot of what we say at SU is that in order to honor the past as we think about the future, we kept that in terms of the building. So really around innovation, technology, entrepreneurship, and the veterans piece, and working closely with Nicole and Ashley, it's been wonderful.
Ashley, for somebody who may not be overly familiar with CVEB, who you are and what you do, give me some background, some history. Tell me a little bit about the organization.
I was involved with the founding of the board back in 2017. We became a nonprofit 501c3 in 2018. I served as the vice chair at that time, and I've been involved since inception in some capacity. This is my first time as chair, and it's exciting to go ahead and lead the board into some new growth and new direction. But the past chairs have done a lot of work getting us to where we are today. We're mainly a connector in the community. So the CVEB idea was brought forth by Department of Veterans Affairs as a way to fill in gaps in the communities and to be able to connect the VA to community resources. It has since grown. I can't tell you how many CVEBs are currently in the country, but there are at least 7 in the state of Virginia, and we work pretty closely with those CVEBs locally and statewide. The state has an annual conference that brings the directors out, and they talk best practices and talk about how they can work together and refer across state. Here locally, we have a pretty large membership that comes to our member meetings every month. We meet on the 4th Thursday for our members, and then the 2nd Thursday we meet for the executive members, which are our voted members or appointed members that kind of run the daily operations of the board. We have 2 paid volunteers through the Senior Community Service Employment Program, and those are both veterans, and they have really done a lot of work getting our name out there. The biggest thing I want people to know is that we're here to connect all the resources, because it can be extremely overwhelming for veterans when they're looking for help to just get an entry point. So the more points we have that are connected, the more opportunity there is for someone to be connected and then be referred to the right place. So I would say the biggest partnership we've benefited from has certainly been our relationship with Shenandoah University. Virginia Department of Veteran Services is also one of our partners. They are the state agency that is running that connection, but we also recognize that they're not always finding these veterans that are needing services. So we are constantly referring to them and getting people connected through the events we've hosted. We would like to host more events. That's certainly something when we brought volunteers on, that we aim to accomplish with their help.
Sometimes what happens is there is a veteran that is in need of services and they don't even know where those services exist. And I know from my work within United Way, there are a lot of nonprofit organizations in our area that serve some specifically and only veterans, but some as part of their larger mission. I just talked with Kim Herbstritt on the show last week through her work with Habitat for Humanity. So knowing who the nonprofits are is incredibly beneficial to you, because you have to know know when someone says, hey, this is what I need, who out there could potentially give them access to those resources?
Absolutely. So one thing I failed to mention is at our meetings once a month, we have a featured speaker. That could be anyone from a local or national organization that could serve the veterans in our community. And that's just to kind of educate our membership on some new resources. So we have veteran service organizations, local nonprofits, state, anybody that's interested in learning more can come to our meetings. There's no fee to be a member. We just ask that you attend regularly in order to vote on board matters. But as far as just attending, we also have a virtual option. So I know that can make things a little more convenient for people to attend. If somebody's not looking to necessarily attend meetings, but just wants to know, we do have a website that has quite a bit of resources on it. And that's the NSB, stands for Northern Shenandoah Valley, CVEB, Community Veterans Engagement Board.org. We're constantly updating it, trying to keep everything updated with the ever-changing folks that work for these nonprofits, but we try and keep it as current as possible.
You mentioned a second ago that there are 7 CVEBs across the state of Virginia. Do you have a certain territory or geographical area that you cover?
We serve Winchester, Frederick County, Warren, Clark, and Shenandoah, so the adjoining counties to Frederick County. There is not currently one in the West Virginia area, so while Martinsburg is pretty close, we partner with a lot of the organizations up there too. And one thing I would mention is our biggest initiative recently has been a partnership with Tech for Troops out of Richmond. We've hosted 3 events to date with them, providing laptops to veterans that are looking to further their education or find employment. It's nearly impossible to find employment these days if you don't have a computer or you don't know how to use a smartphone. Even smartphones, it's how do you type all that stuff with your fingers? So we've worked really closely with them to bring that to this area. We don't limit necessarily folks from West Virginia, but we do try and prioritize the local residents first.
When we talk about resources, it could be anything from those needing a food pantry to needing housing to wanting to further their education, medical care. I mean, it is a pretty wide swath of things that you're able to provide resources for.
Absolutely, and we do have some limited budget for filling in gaps when we can't get certain things covered. We reach out to the organizations first, but in the event that, say, they come up short on a small amount, we do have some funds for that, and we have that written into our bylaws on how we can take care of that. So we are not the first organization, but we will certainly fill in if we can.
Patricia, explain to me how Shenandoah fits into all of this.
Yeah, so what we've done ever since I started really building upon what Nicole has done, which she'll talk a little bit about prior to her move temporarily to where she is right now, is really creating the Hive as a convening space for veteran service organizations. So similar to some of the conversations that you were having with Ashley in regards to having somewhat of a one-stop shop or just letting veterans know where you can go to get all that information. We're kind of the connector, that really good partner to make sure when veterans are coming through the door, whether they're engaging in some of the programs that we offer from an academic standpoint, we make sure that we're connecting them to the right individuals or departments. But if they're looking for any of some of those resources that Ashley was just speaking about, we'll then connect with CVEB. So we have a couple of partnerships with about 7 or 8 VSOs that basically utilize the Hive for a place for their monthly meetings. And then what that allows us to do is to really have an ear to what veterans are in need for. So how can we support that, and how can we limit some of those or get rid of some of those barriers? So as Ashley was talking about Tech for Troops, we're really happy to partner with CVEB in engagement to have a place for them, bring in some of our partners that we work with. We were able, because we are an Apple school, allow Apple to come in and meet with some of these veterans. And then also thinking about some of the other programs that we have within the Hive, esports, looking at potentially what can we do around that particular sector or space, because a lot of times we hear the stories in terms of veterans as they go abroad or go to other areas or work. That's one of the ways that they connect back with family through that esports connection. So really just having an ear to that, and it allows us to have that relationship and move on.
And so, Nicole, how do you fit into all this mix?
So I am the worker bee and the emotional support friend. I got a lot of stuff started at Shenandoah. I was also been on the board since inception. I was the treasurer. I've been a board member and really got things going at the university in regards to veterans and our relationship with the community and veterans. And then I took a little hiatus. I left the university for about a year, but I'm back now as the director and loving it. I get to work with CVEB again. It's just a great opportunity and I love working with the veterans.
Let's take a break. When we come back, can we get details for the barbecue that's coming up on May 28th? And I drove past Handley just in the last couple of days, and I've seen the flags that are already up. Nothing compared to what it's going to look like on the 21st when the Healing Field of Honor opens. Can we talk a little bit about that too in the next segment?
Absolutely.
We're on the Zooms today talking with Ashley Moslak. She is the chair for the Northern Shenandoah Valley Community Veterans Engagement Board. Nicole Hess is joining her as vice chair of the organization. Patricia Young is with us as well. She is the advisor to the organization as well as the executive director for the Hive, located on the campus of Shenandoah University. We're going to talk more with all three of them in just a couple of minutes.
Okay, what are you doing with your kids all summer? I can't do another screen time marathon every time it's too hot outside or I need to work.
Same. That's why I signed mine up for Typewriter Studio camps.
Oh, I've seen that place. In Old Town Winchester. It's cute. Art, right?
Yeah, but way more than that. Confidence, goals, history, culture, with real art educators. And different camps every week. My kids actually grow there.
Wait, what ages?
1st through 8th grade, June through August. Half or full day. And you can even stack with the Discovery Museum.
Okay, that's smart.
Starts at just $180 with sibling discounts, so both of yours can go.
Send me that link.
Already did. It's typewriterstudio.org. Oh, and use code FULLDAY at checkout for 15% off the PM camps.
Don't waste another summer. Have your kid explore, play, create cool art, and build friendships in a safe, creative space with limited class sizes and licensed teachers. Visit typewriterstudio.org and click Summer Camps. Use code FULLDAY at checkout for 15% off the PM camp. Additional savings for members.
Welcome back to the Valley today. I am your host, Janet Michael. It is all about veterans on the show today. Ashley Moslak is joining me. She is the chair for the Northern Shenandoah Valley Community Veterans Engagement Board, CVEB, as you'll hear us refer to it. She is joined by Nicole Hess, who is vice chair of the organization. Patricia Young is with us as well. She is an advisor to the organization, as well as the executive director for the Hive, located on the campus of Shenandoah University. I want to talk for a minute, Ashley, about Healing Field of Honor. It's something that the Rotary puts on the lawn of Handley High School. You can't not notice it as you drive by. It is quite a stunning sight to see all of these thousands of flags that people are able to remember a veteran, to honor a veteran that's still alive or in their family or someone that they know. It is just such an incredible thing. Mike Diaz was on the show with me last year in May, and we talked a little bit about that event that Rotary has, but then the role that CVEB plays in it, because you set up on a particular day and coordinate a bunch of resources. So the veterans that are coming to Handley High School that day also can find out what might be available to serve whatever need they have.
Yes, absolutely. I'm truly grateful for our continued partnership with Winchester Rotary for this event. It's a great event. And as you mentioned, we will be set up Thursday, the 21st from 3 to 7, kind of to the side of their ceremony. So anyone coming to attend the ceremony can come and look at the different resources that we'll have available. We will have quite a bit of our membership represented there. They'll have their tables set up. They'll have their resources. It's a great time to come out and network and find out, even non-veterans, find out just usually some veteran connection in your family and your friends. So just come out, meet us, and see how you can also get involved. A lot of these organizations could use some help. We are always welcome to volunteers here at the CVEB, and you do not have to be a veteran. We are a 501c3. We are not a organization that requires a veteran status. Our board is actually mostly non-veterans. I'm a veteran, and then Mike, our advisor, is a veteran, but we certainly welcome anyone that has a heart for those who served.
This is a really great low barrier way for someone to attend that event even if they think they don't need anything or they think that what they need isn't available. I mean, this is a great way, very low key, to meet some of these organizations, talk with you from CVEB, and maybe find out, oh, wait, I didn't know there was somebody that could help me with this. Or my dad needs help with this and he'll never ask anybody for anything. So tell me what I can do to help get him started along this pathway. It's so easy to come to an event like this and learn about all of the available resources.
Yes, and I would say all of our members are very down to earth, very friendly, very knowledgeable on the services that are offered. It's very, like you said, very easy to come talk to folks, find out information. You never know when you're going to need it, whether it's for you personally or for somebody else in your family or friend circle. If you work with the public, you may come across someone that needs the information. Veterans benefits are constantly changing or evolving, so CVEB tries to keep up with the new policies. It definitely helps because one of the most changing is the education, especially the last few years. So having some of those experts in the field is certainly a huge advantage.
Nicole
stay up
Ashley
to date.
mentioned earlier in our conversation that you guys really want to do more events, and you've got a barbecue that's coming up on May 28th. You're going to have it at the Hive, but it's a community connection barbecue for veterans. Give me some details about that.
Yeah, so it's the Veterans Community Connection Barbecue. It is May 28th from 11 to 2. As you mentioned, it will be at the Hive. It is open to the community. It's not just for veterans. It's those who support veterans. It's anybody who wants more information about services. We will have a couple resources available.
Patricia, this speaks directly to the reason you built the building. The reason that you put that building there is to do things exactly like this.
Exactly. Yeah. We had our first inaugural veteran networking event in February. So we're excited to at least kind of end the academic year, start of the summer with a barbecue. What best way to do that? So we have some of our leadership that will be out in representation on the 28th. So we have our provost and a few other folks coming out just to connect with the veterans and share a little bit more. And if anyone's interested in a tour during that time, I'm more than happy to do that as well.
It's such a good fit when Ashley talks about how the education benefits tend to change quite frequently for veterans. Having you there as a resource, being on that Shenandoah campus, is such a good fit for this building and for any of those veterans that want to get a degree, they want to change whatever they want to do in their career pathway. You have access to all of that information.
Yeah, and we work together. A big thing is partnerships. I work quite closely with Nicole, just based on her legacy at the university and the work that she does now, and working closely with Ashley. But then also, as I was saying in the earlier segment, just really understanding what that need is for our veterans. And maybe it's not that traditional academic journey. Maybe it's certification courses. We have cybersecurity, spatial computing, entrepreneurship. We're looking at running an entrepreneurship veteran boot camp next year and a few other events. So we'll definitely have to come back on if you allow us to share a little bit more about what we're doing and rolling out in the new year.
Actually, at the community barbecue, what can people expect? Obviously, barbecue.
So yes. Lots of food. Veteran service organizations love food. So definitely food. As Nicole said, it's free. We will also have Guitars for Vets, which is another local nonprofit. Their chapters in Martinsburg, but they have instructors in Winchester. And one of the instructors is going to come out and provide some live music. So that's really a neat thing. The other thing that's worth mentioning is a Marine veteran in Martinsburg that owns Prismatic Art Studios is coming to bring a mobile paint splatter room. So if you've never heard of that, you should come to see that. That'll be really neat, especially since it's another veteran that owns the business. So she's donating that. We will have, as we mentioned, some resources in attendance as well to promote some of the things that they can assist with. So it's going to be a great time. We are requesting a RSVP just so that we can make sure we have enough food. If anyone is interested in RSVPing, not just veterans, anyone that just wants to get to know what we're about and see if they maybe could get involved with some of the things we're doing. Like I said, we always are open to volunteers. The RSVP is actually on our website as well. There's a flyer on our landing page, nsbcveeb.org, stands for Northern Shenandoah Valley Community Veterans Engagement Board.org. You can click on the flyer, it'll take you to the RSVP. It's a short form, just letting us know how many will be attending so we can keep a running tab and make sure we have enough food. Certainly do not want to run out of food, but that should not be an issue. We are extremely grateful for our partnership with Shenandoah. It's an invaluable partnership. There are so many things that we've been able to do because of that partnership post our meetings and be able to continue to grow.
I want to talk for a minute too, a little more about that volunteer aspect, because you also have some unique opportunity for people to volunteer. So typically what I hear from nonprofits is, oh yeah, we would love volunteers. We need volunteers to help us at an event, or we need someone to come to our office and answer the phones. And while you may need some of that, you're in a unique position, much like this veteran-owned business that does this paint splatter. If there are veteran-owned businesses out there that want to give back to their veteran community, you can volunteer by setting up at events like this or offering discounts or those kinds of things. Volunteering looks different for each different organization.
We try and support veteran-owned businesses when we're seeking things. So for example, Tech for Troops, we use Schaefer's Barbecue because they are a veteran-owned business. So we love to give back to those veteran-owned businesses and local businesses as much as we can when we do host events. And it doesn't have to be veteran-owned business, any small business that's looking to get their name out. We welcome them to come to events and network.
And then can people make financial donations? As a 501c3, can I go on your website, for example, and hit a donate button and give you, ideally, an amount of money that has a comma in it, because that's what all nonprofits like, are those commas in the check.
Some commas, yes. Yeah, absolutely. On our NSBCVEB website, there is a donate link. We are a platinum organization on Candid, so we certainly have some backing to our legitimacy as far as a nonprofit. We try and be as transparent as possible so that people know that their money's going to a good cause. We certainly would welcome any donation, great or small, but I think the biggest thing is really the volunteers. The more people that come out, get to know what we can offer, the better, because the biggest thing we're focusing on is connection.
Do you have social media where people can follow you or find you on, say, Facebook?
So we are actually really working to revamp that, but we do have a Facebook page, and it is facebook.com/NSVCVEB. It is starting to get better. That is one goal we have in our plan for the year, is to get our social media up and running a little more. So we will be utilizing some assistance with that as well, some volunteer help with that. So if anybody's really good at social media, we would love to have you. That is not my forte, but we are trying to get it back up and running and promote the great things we're doing on that as well.
Maybe we can share that with our students when they're back.
Right? Yes, you're sitting next to someone who has access to all of the kids that know how to do all of that.
Yeah.
I see a TikTok in your future.
Yeah, we are open to anybody that knows the new
Right, platforms.
Facebook is for the old folks now. So if any of the newer, younger generation that wants to come help us reach those younger vets, we are always looking for some help in that area.
NSVCVEB for Northern Shenandoah Valley Community Veterans Engagement Board.org is probably a really good place to start, because there they can find the flyer, they can RSVP for the barbecue, they can see about your upcoming events, you have your meeting minutes, background, access to resources. There's a lot of information on that website.
Yes, absolutely. We do have a community resource tab that has resource guides. It also has links to all of the members that we've had over the years. Some are more active than others. Some have just come to present at our meetings, but we try and keep it as up to date as possible. Things constantly are changing. People are changing, but the websites usually stay the same. So we keep the websites linked so that they can reach out directly to those organizations and see who's the best contact if the one isn't up to date in our registry. We also have a downloadable PDF version that we try and keep updated. It's a living document, so we update it as we hear of changes.
Kudos
So,
to you for that,
I
because
go to
that's something
position
else we've
wants-
tried to do at United Way that is impossible sometimes to keep up to date.
We definitely love your United Way book that comes out, I think, every 2 years. That's definitely a great resource too. If anybody wants to be listed on there, we do ask that you be not for profit. We don't want to be putting things out that have a cost associated, but any services the community can offer, we would love to showcase those.
Patricia, how can people find out more about the Hive and all of the opportunities for veterans at Shenandoah University?
They can reach out to our Instagram page, which is SU_Hive, or they can send an email, hiveprogramming@su.edu. We're also on LinkedIn. They can find me, Patricia Young, or Shenandoah Hive on LinkedIn as well. And then obviously connect with Nicole. She works a lot with the veteran students on their various JAG-Bill and other resources.
Yeah, definitely. So a good email address is gibill@su.edu. That'll get to either myself or a coworker. It's monitored pretty much 24/7, actually. I feel like
You
I'm checking
shouldn't
it all
say
the
that,
time.
but I know why you did.
We try to be accessible for sure.
So May 21st, visit Heroes Hill at Handley High School. Check out all the resources that you guys have set up there. And then May 28th, the Veterans Community Connection Barbecue at the Hive from 11 to 2. And find all of that at nsvcveb.org. Hey, I'm getting kind of good at this. It only took me an hour. But Ashley, thank you for being available to talk about all of this. I'm excited about some future conversations that I think we're going to have.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for all
Thank
you do
you.
for the community.
I will be back tomorrow with a brand new episode of The Valley Today, just a few minutes after noon. So meet me here then.